So this is my mentor, Monica Hunter, and I'm going to ask her a few questions on leadership. So the first question is, what is leadership to you?
Leadership is understanding and living your life in such a way that you know that other people follow you and want to follow you. That you have that I have a great deal of influence over the kind of people they want to be, the way that they speak, the way that they act, and the way that they think.
What is the biggest advice you could give to a leader?
The biggest advice I can give to a leader is to find other leaders that are doing it right, people that you respect and admire, and can look to model your own life from.
And with being a leader, what are some places that you have been involved in leadership?
Well, for years I worked for Nordstrom as a loss prevention manager. The department took a leadership role in the store, and managing was a leadership role. After that, my husband and I had a business, an insurance agency, and so we were owners and managers of our business. At one point, I think we had 50 employees. And then I've been involved in leadership for years through my church, doing ministry, leading youth groups and leading other small group leaders. I was a division director. I've taught classes, purity classes for high school girls. I've led small groups for women. And so those are some of the leadership roles that I've had, including being a mom and leading my children. Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest hurdle you've had to overcome in leadership?
I think the biggest hurdle is just getting past wanting to be a people pleaser, or just wanting to make everybody happy, and understanding that if you're going to be a good, effective leader, and if you're really going to serve, and serving others is the point of leadership, is to I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
I totally lost my train of thought. What was the question?
The biggest hurdle. Oh no, that was people pleaser.
I lost your train of thought too.
That's okay.
What was I saying? Give me a second. I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm gonna edit this, right? No. Okay, next question.
Okay, so say someone is really shy and they want to be a leader, but they don't know how. What are some steps you would give them if they wanted to begin to be involved in leadership?
Gosh, there's so many things they could do besides reading good books on leadership and listening to good people. But one thing they could do is to start practicing, and also to have a really strong understanding of what a leader is, and how a leader acts, so they can begin to speak like a leader and act like a leader, and understand their influence and how big it is that they have the ability to affect great change in other people's lives in a positive way, in a life-changing way. And so just by setting a good example and having high standards, and modeling good behavior, we have the ability to impact the world in a great way.
Who are a few or one of the people who have influenced you in a place of leadership?
Pastor Mark Hoffman has been a great leader for me. He's been a mentor. He was my boss. He's been a friend. And I don't know if there's such a thing, but I would say he has some apostolic gifting. He's founded things, and he's a visionary, and he says hard things, and he'll go against the status quo if it's the right thing. He has a great deal of integrity and character, which, by the way, is critical for a strong and good leader. And so he was one person. John Hoffman, his brother, I worked under him when I was a division director, helping to lead the youth groups at Foothills, and he was a strong youth group. He was a strong pastor. I look to leaders, people even recently like Ben Carson. I'm reading a book called Think Big. I've read his book, Gifted Hands. He's running for president right now. He's sort of high profile, and so I learned from them, and just watching their deep humility and the way they're above reproach, and having a spirit of excellence, and watching how their lives impact others. And so for other people to do those same kinds of things is really important. Let's see, other leaders that I've respected. No one is popping into my mind. There are.
That's okay. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, so last question. What are some expectations that would be on a person in leadership?
An expectation on someone in leadership is they're going to do the right thing no matter what, and that they're going to have pure intentions and seek to the interest of others, the people that they're leading and whoever they're representing, before themselves, that they're going to put themselves last and sacrifice, that they're going to have a spirit of excellence, they're going to be faithful and trustworthy.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Monica.
Oh, one other thing. I think it's really important for a leader to operate in wisdom, because they can have great character and they can have a lot of knowledge, but if they're not a wise person, they're not going to be an effective leader. And as a Christian, I think it's really important that people recognize that wisdom comes from God, and that you can ask God for wisdom and pray for wisdom, and that He will actually impart wisdom to you every day to make skillful choices that yield the best results for big things and little things, and that we can seek that and actually live in that and have that. And wisdom has everything to do with the future, and only God knows the future. So we need to get our wisdom from Him.
Perfect. Well, thank you for sitting down and talking to us about leadership.
You're welcome.